Hi guys, this is Zach from Watches on You, and today I'm taking a look at the Sinn 104. So this watch by Sinn is made to be kind of more of a traditionally styled dive watch, and you can definitely see that in this timepiece. You can see that the indexes, they're not a big Arabic numerals or anything. They're just standard markers going all the way around, luminous markers. The hands have a bit more of kind of a vintage design on them, as you can see, where they're kind of wide and then they taper down to a point. And then the bezel as well is a bit more traditional, just having a black bezel insert and a lume pip at 12. And then the case on this timepiece is also a stainless steel case, but it's not the German steel, submarine steel that some of their other, like the U1 and U2 timepieces are. This is a traditional stainless steel, and you can see that they both brush and polish this, giving it a bit more of an elegant look compared to the U1 or U2 timepieces. The bracelet also has polished center links, as you can see there, again kind of making this watch a little bit more dressy and a little bit more versatile in everyday life, making this kind of a crossover from a sports, but then also a business watch that you can wear with a suit into the office. This watch, the case diameter is 41 millimeters, which is great for a sports watch, no problem with that whatsoever. I think that that's a great sports watch size for a case. 40 millimeters is generally my favorite, so 41 is definitely fine there. And being a dive watch, you want it nice and legible, but I don't like some of the huge 45 millimeter dive watches. I think this is a perfect case size for this watch. You can see on the dial you also do get a day and date function at 3 o'clock, which is just increases the usability of this timepiece. And the movement in this timepiece is it's a Swiss-made, either ETA or Solida movement, so it's going to be very robust, very easy to service if you need to ever. There really isn't too much finishing on it. You can see they put a custom finished rotor on it, however, there really isn't much past that. Fairly generic finishing. Would have been nice to see a bit more on this, but this watch comes in, this watch is pre-owned, but it comes in at a price of $1,675, so that's before many watch brands start finishing their timepieces to a higher degree. The bezel on this timepiece is a 60-click bezel. It's not a 120-click. Would have been great to see a 120-click, but the 60-click feels nice. There's really no wiggle in this timepiece at all. Feels very good, very clicky, and it just feels great. It'd be great for diving. 120-click bezel, you don't really need to be that accurate to the 30th of a second when you're diving, especially because now you're mainly going to be using it. You're probably going to be using a dive computer or something. So to the 30 half of a minute, 30 second, you don't really need a 120. A 60 would be just fine in the real world. So now let's move on to a wrist shot. So I'm just going to take my glove off here, and on the wrist, again, that 41 millimeter size is fantastic for a sports watch. It just looks great. I love the elegance of this compared to some of the other Sinn timepieces. I think it looks fantastic, and I like how it has its own unique design still. A lot of watches will end up copying or taking a lot of aspects from other dive watches, especially this is very common in the dive watch space. We'll take many elements from Submariner, Omega Seamasters or something. This watch really is quite unique, and I don't really see any aspects here that they take from other watches, which is fantastic to see, and I think it looks fantastic as well. The bracelet is unique as well. I like the polished center link, just increases the elegance of this and the versatility of this watch a bit more. The clasp on this watch is only a pressed metal clasp. It is solid bar on the inside, but on the outside it's pressed metal. Would have been nice to see more of solid clasp, but again, at this price point, most watches are still using this kind of clasp. It does, however, come with a diver's extension that's solid bar as well, which is a great feature to have for a dive watch, so you can easily fit this over a wetsuit. So overall, this watch is one of the most versatile Sinns out there. It's not really a dedicated sports watch. You can really wear this absolutely everywhere and it will look fantastic. I've always loved the design of the Sinn 104, and this watch does have a 200-meter water resistance, so very capable dive watch, and yet you can still easily pull this off with a suit, as you can tell with the great polished bracelet and everything. It still has a nice classiness to it. So I'd like to thank JB Hudson Jewelers for lending us this piece for the purpose of this review. I will be leaving a link in the description if you'd like to inquire about purchasing this watch, and I will also be leaving a link in the description to our channel Amazon store, where we have some of our favorite watch accessories on Amazon that you guys can take a look at. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.